Hey everybody, and welcome back to the craft room. I am so glad that you guys could join me. Since we had a little mishap on yesterday when I recorded like 4 videos before I put up the one about the new Tunisian crochet stitch that I wanted to try, I recorded them. If you didn't see that video, I recorded them on my iPhone, my old iPhone, and wasn't even thinking. I just boom, 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 recorded them. And then when I went to edit, they didn't have any sound. And the reason is because that's why I stopped using that iPhone, is because the microphone on it is bad. So we're just going to have a good old-fashioned yarn talk video tonight. It's been a while. Oh, let me plug in my light. Hang on. Anyway, it's been a while since we've had a yarn talk video, because I have mainly just been, putting them up like one at a time with what I have been doing. So, it's time for a good old-fashioned yarn talk video. I'm going to try and include 3 of the 4 videos that I made last night in this one. So this one might be just a smidgen bit longer. Not a whole lot. So let's get started. I don't know what this stuff, there we go. Alright, so this is some things that I have finished way back, and I do not know which one is which. I guess I could look. Hang on. Let's see here. Let me open up the... right here. These are 3 more squares from the Tunisian sampler blanket that I'm making from Knitter Knotter. This is not the same one that Jada and Stitches is doing this year. It's completely different. I've been working on this since last fall, I believe. But anyway, I have 3 more squares that I have completed on this from a while back that I'm just now getting around to showing you. And I'm going to go backwards on this. I'll go 12, 11, and 10 because I have 4 more squares to make, and then we can start putting the blanket together, which is kind of exciting actually. But anyway, this square is square number 12, and it is the Tunisian yarn over stitch. And I'll turn it to the light a little bit. You can kind of see how that looks. Let me see. It would go this way. That's the proper way. So that's what it would look like, or what it does look like. That was actually a fun stitch to make. I might have to do something else with that, but as you can see, it does curl a little bit. It's not a bad curl, but it does curl a little bit. Stitch number 11, pop-ups, go away. Oh, stitch number 11 would be this one, and this would be the Tunisian lace, I believe. Oh no, that was a Tunisian yarn over. It has 2 different options for it. I opted to do the first option, which makes my yarn overs, lined up. You can also do it where they're staggered. Week number 11, or square number 11, is a Tunisian double crochet, which it basically looks just like a normal just a normal double crochet stitch, only it's done in the vertical bars. So yeah, nothing real exciting about that one. It was a simple one, and it curls slightly. It's not a real bad curl. So there's number 11. And number 10 is the Mori lace pattern. I really like this one. I've done this one since I finished these. This is what it looks like. I know this is kind of dark. This is a dark blue, like a royal blue probably. But that's what it looks like. I really like that stitch. So there are my 3 finished ones that I've had finished for a while. I will put a link to those down in the description box below, so you can go check out that sampler blanket. So far, the squares that I've done, I think only one of them I had to really think about, but they've been really simple. So since I was not able to get the doily finished that I was going to do for Terry and Lottie's August challenge, it's still sitting right here. That's where it's been sitting since I put it up. The reason I put it up is because the row that I was on, I don't know if I messed up or maybe it was just me having a bad day, but it didn't look like it was right, so I just put it up for now. I will get it back out and finish it because it is supposed to be a Christmas gift for this year for someone. So since I didn't get to finish that up, I decided to make some Tunisian crochet washcloths. Now my washcloth stack is currently yay tall up there. I have a lot of washcloths. They're fun to make, and you never know how many you're going to need and when you're going to need them, right? So the first one that I made is that same lace stitch that I just showed you on the square. Well, this one's a lot easier to see. This is Lily Sugar and Cream, but I do not know what the color is on this, but I think it looks absolutely lovely. I love the way it looks. So there's that one. The second one that I did was, which the link for this will be also included with the blanket, Tunisian sampler blanket, because it's the Mori lace. The second one that I did is a pattern from crochetkim.com. This is a Wishy Washy washcloth. I really like this. I've made a couple of these before, at least one, maybe two. But this is the first time I've made it with cotton. Normally, in the past, I made them with acrylic because I use them for like cleaning cloths. But here's how this one turned out. I used that same yarn that I used on this one, and I paired it with a purple. The purple is a Sugar and Cream as well. I love how that turned out. And the last one that I made, let me set this back here, is another Tunisian crochet stitch. This is, let me think, what is it? Oh, it's the extended simple stitch, the extended Tunisian simple stitch. And I did it with two colors. And this one has actually already been claimed, but I told the person, which was my oldest son, that he could not have it until I showed it to you guys. But these are both Lily Sugar and Cream as well. I do not know what colors they are. It's part of that 1 pound that I got. But here's this one. It is a green and yellow. Kind of reminded me of the citrus. Steve said lemon lime. I love how this turned out. The only problem I have with it that I don't like is how carrying the yarn up the back turned out. I don't know how else I would have done it, but I definitely did not want to snip and tie off each thing because that would just be way too many rows to weave in. But I think that should be okay. They're fairly, and they'll stretch. So anyway, this is already claimed and going to be gifted. Stick that back in my bag. The last item that I have to show you that I have finished is hat number 9. This will be hat number 9. I have 8 more to go to have the other 50 for my 100 preschool hats. I'm getting really close. So this is a Tunisian crochet in the round. Do you guys see a pattern here, what I've been doing? Tunisian crochet? I guess so. Anyway, this, I actually did the Tunisian extended crochet as well. This extended simple stitch, just like on the washcloth. This hat turned out absolutely amazing. I played yarn chicken and I lost by 2 stitches, but I just filled it in with the white or the second color and nobody will probably know, right? But anyway, this is my own pattern. To my knowledge, there is no pattern online for this, so yeah. But anyway, I started at the top and worked my way down. Like I said, this is the Tunisian extended simple stitch. I used gray for my vertical bars and my return color is a white. This hat is soft and squishy. Now you might be wondering, how did I get this? It was just pure luck. I love the way that looks, honestly. But what I did was I finished off the hat like I normally would when it was long enough with just the normal slip stitch that you finish a Tunisian crochet project off with. And then instead of going into the loops when I did the brim, I didn't cut my yarn. I just left the yarn on. Here's my, right here. I just started with the gray. Or when I finished this off, I did the white. And I went in the back loops of the return, or the slip stitch. So it made it kind of a ridge there. kind of sticks out a little bit, which I thought was pretty cool. That wasn't planned, but that's just how it happened, and I liked it. But then I started with my gray and just went like in the back loops of that with the gray. I'm going in circles here. And did a half double crochet. And then I did 2 rows of white, half double crochet, and I was hoping that I would have enough gray, which as you can see I just carried the gray up, but I don't really think that would have mattered because I wouldn't have had enough anyway. But I finished it off on the bottom with the gray, except for the last 2 stitches. So annoying. I know I've got ends to weave in, but I have a bunch of hats with ends to weave in. I already tied off my top, so this will be my top. And I had a break in my gray yarn, so I had to tie it here in the middle. But if you're curious like I am, this is what the inside of the hat looks like. I absolutely love this hat. I think some little boy or girl would be very happy with this hat. And it's too warm to put it on, or I would put it on and show you how it fits. Do I have? I don't have a foam head handy, or I'd put it on the foam head for you. But anyway, there is finished hat number 9. And like I said, I have 8 more to go for my 100 hats. Oh, and one other thing I want to point out about this. If you know what you're looking for, you can see it. But there is really no obvious increase lines in the top of this hat. I thought that was so cool, the way that worked out. So what am I working on, since those are my finished projects that I have created in the last while? If you watched yesterday's video, you know that I have been working on a new Tunisian crochet stitch. If you didn't see that, make sure you go check that out back in the, a video back. It was yesterday that I put it up. Anyway, I'm using some of this I Love This Cotton from Hobby Lobby. This is the colorway True Pink, Too Pink. I've used this a couple times before, at least once. I used it to make the butterfly coaster mug rug, which I believe got 3rd place in the county fair this year. But I have a digital copy of the 101 Easy Tunisian Crochet Stitches, and I was just thumbing through it and I'm like, oh, I love that pattern. I don't know why I haven't seen it before, but I had to try it, and that's what I was showing you guys in yesterday's video. But I did a little bit more work on it. Here's what it looks like. It is a combination, best way I can describe it without telling you how to do it right away. It's kind of like a combination between the Tunisian cross stitch and the Tunisian honeycomb stitch. I know it might sound confusing, but that's basically what it's like. Here's the back of that if you're curious what that looks like. Whoops. I can't wait to, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Maybe I'll make a long one and make it a little pouch or purse or something. But I really like how that stitch is turning out. The other project that I currently have going that is not asleep or in trouble or just I'm bored with is I decided to make another Tunisian crochet hat. Go figure. This time I'm actually keeping track of what my increase number is. So if you can see, I'm on my 13th increase so far. I am using, since this is a Tunisian in the round, I'm doing it top down. I'm using some of this red heart. I don't know what color this is. It was gifted to me like this, but it is some sort of light blue color. I'm also using this Hobby Lobby yarn that I had started to make another hat a while back with, and it was just using way too much yarn. That hat was. It was like down to this, and I wasn't even finished with the top of the hat. I don't know what was up with that. Let me slide this over and see if I can tell you what color this is. I might not be able to, or I might not be able to even find it. Well, we will have to wait until I have this big mass done off the middle here where I wound it up after frogging that other hat. But anyway, this is the color it is. It's like a pale red, white, and blue, but Steve seems to think it's pink, white, and blue. So I'm really curious as to what the color is because I don't know. But anyway, this hat is a Tunisian knit hat because I thought that color would look really good knitted up, but I didn't want to get out my knitting needles and actually physically knit a hat, and I'm not in the mood to do Addie. Pardon me. It is way too warm to even think about doing any extra physical, work, cranking the Addie. So I decided to do a Tunisian knit. Now I have done a Tunisian knit before. I'm doing this one slightly different with my increased stitch. I am not doing the full stitch in between. I'm not sure how to explain what stitch I'm doing, but it's one that I've previously done before. And I think I'm on, let's see, 13. I know I need at least one more row of increase. I might need 2. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is what I have so far. And this stitch marker really does me no good, honestly. I've been having a lot easier time knowing where I'm at using just a random string of yarn going up on my beginning stitch. So this is what I have so far. And yes, you can see, but not visibly see, the increases. And if you're curious what the back side looks like, because I mean it looks like I'm just using that yarn, right? Here's the back side. You do not see the return stitch for the most part with a Tunisian knit project. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. Like I said, I think at least one more increase, but I'm not sure, because if I remember right, this one actually stretches pretty good. So I think the 7-inch crown of the hat will be about right, because this will stretch pretty good. So anyway, that is my finished projects and my current works in progress. That pretty much sums up the 3 of the 4 videos that I totally goofed on when I recorded them yesterday before I put out the Tunisian stitch video. So I hope you guys, oh, one more thing before you go. I went to not Hobby Lobby, that's too far away right now. I went to Dollar Tree tonight. I actually asked Steve to go to Dollar Tree. And I purchased some mailers. I got 2 here, so now I have the mailers that I need to send out the amigurumis to Chronically Crocheting for her Yarn Fairy thing for Halloween. And I also have a bag that I can use to send out some stuff to my local yarny friend. She knows she's getting it. She knows what most of it is, but there's a surprise in there that she doesn't know about. She keeps trying to guess, but she hasn't guessed yet. But even if she did, I wouldn't tell her, so who knows. This is getting quite long, so I want to thank you guys for joining me here in the craft room. I hope you enjoyed seeing the finished projects that I have accomplished and seeing the new projects that I am currently working on. So I will see you right back here for my next video.